Hi there, my name is Steph and I'm a registered nutritional therapist, and I've had my business now for about 20 months, and I realised I haven't really spoke about my skin journey or how I got to running a nutrition business. So if you're interested in that and you want to pick up a few acne tips, then please watch on. So my acne started when I was about 14 years old. I remember getting my first period and almost my acne kick-starting around the same time. And from then on, I had pretty moderate and at times quite severe acne between the ages of 14 and about 27. So it's been quite a long journey. There's been some ups, plenty of downs. But hopefully listening to my journey, you might pick up a few tips, natural tips on what you can do to heal your acne. So the first time I went to the GP, I was about 17 years old, and they put me on the contraceptive pill. And I remember we had to try quite a few different pills because they just kept giving me side effects. And we finally, I think it was the fourth pill we tried, I finally found one that didn't cause side effects. And it kind of eased the acne a little bit, took the edge off, so to speak. And I was on that for about 10 years. So that was my first bit of kind of conventional treatment to help the acne. And then from then on, I remember I was on all sorts of different topical skin treatments for acne. Pretty much just dried out my skin and made it more red. I was on rounds and rounds and rounds of antibiotics for it as well, which kind of cleared it up in the moment, and then it just come back as soon as I was off. I was recommended Accutane a couple of times, but I had a few friends that were on it, and it would cause them mental health issues, and at the time I think I was just dealing with so much I didn't really want to go down that route. I was tempted, but I didn't go down that route. And the first time I went to the GP about my gut health, I was 23. By this point, I had become so militant with my diet, with my skincare, I was drinking 3 litres of water a day, I was working out 4 to 5 times a week. So I remember going to the GP over several times over the course of a couple of years between the ages of 23 and 25, and was told, you have IBS, here's a leaflet, drink some more water, move your body, avoid these food groups, look at a FODMAP diet, and this is kind of it. You've kind of got it and there's nothing you can do about it. So what was quite bad, well, what was really bad about that at the time was I already developed such a bad relationship with food, because I started to worry that everything I was eating was triggering my acne, that to be given then another list of foods that I should try and avoid or limit, I ended up creating this long list of no-go foods for a few years of my 20s. So I completely stopped drinking, and I would stop going to social events because I was worried there'd be food there that I might eat and it would trigger my acne. I stopped going to my friends' houses because I was just worried they would cook with something and then I'd have a breakout. So I was already living in a bit of a prison of my own mind at the time. So to be told to kind of start avoiding these other foods, it really wasn't good. Was living off maybe a very small group of foods for about another 3-4 years before I saw a nutritionist. And by the time I went to see her, my relationship with food was at its complete worst. And I remember the first thing she did was look at my food diary and say, is this all you eat? And I was like, yep, because these are my safe foods. These are the foods that I know aren't going to trigger my acne. And she said, first and foremost, we need to up that. We need to include more foods. We need to get you eating more colour. We actually just need to get you eating more. That in itself was a relief at the time, because I just needed somebody to tell me it was okay, you can eat more foods and this won't make your acne worse. So seeing her really was a game changer, because we did some stool testing and found out that I had SIBO, which is short for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And studies are coming out to say actually that up to 70% of people with IBS have SIBO. So I found that quite interesting. And we did a gut protocol for a few months to clear that. So we also looked at my liver health as well, because My liver had pretty much spent the last 10 years, I was on the contraceptive pill, I was taking rounds of antibiotics, I was taking heavily medicated skin creams, so my liver definitely needed a break. And we also worked on my skincare. So when I went to see her, I think I was on an 8-step skincare program, and I had 2 acids, I had a retinol in there. And what it was doing is, on top of my skin medication I was taking for acne, it was just thinning my skin barrier, it was drying it out, it was irritating it, and my skin really wasn't happy. So we really stripped that back, and I just even noticed within a couple of months, the texture of my skin was just a lot better and my redness had reduced. And I think that's because, again, I was just giving my skin a break. So that was really key. So I worked with her for a few months, and it was absolutely amazing. I saw changes in my skin that I thought weren't possible. So after seeing her, I just developed an obsession, a healthy obsession, with nutrition and skin health and helping other people with their skin. So that's what made me go to college for a few years and study nutrition, and that's why now I have a skin nutrition business. So the first tip I would say 100% is gut work. So almost every client that I've ever seen for skin has some issue with their gut. What's really important is to potentially look at comprehensive stool testing, some functional stool testing, because it can really get to the root cause of what might be driving your acne. The gut is incredibly complicated, and there's an awful lot going on that we still don't know now about the gut. A stool test really helps us to try to pinpoint what's going on. So it looks at parasites, looks at fungal issues, looks at bacterial issues. It even looks at the gut lining, which is amazing. And it just kind of helps you then to have a better idea of what it might be that is driving your acne, which then helps to formulate a tailored plan of action, which is what you need for acne, really. So definitely gut testing. Our gut and our skin is linked via the gut-skin axis. Basically, our microbiome and the state of it actually affects our skin health. During digestion, we release a load of biotoxins and byproducts, and if the liver isn't detoxifying them properly because we have a sluggish liver, then it comes out on the skin, and that's what can lead to quite a few different inflammatory skin conditions, acne being one of them. It's really important to look at your gut health when you're looking at your skin health. So another tip I would give is to look at digestion. You really want to focus on digesting your fats, because fats carry key skin loving nutrients. So when I went to see my nutritionist at the time, I actually had quite a few nutrient deficiencies because of my very restricted diet. Adding colour to your plate sounds very basic, but these things are really important, and you have to be really mindful of them every day. Chuck in a new colour, come up with as much colourful dishes as you can, and that will really help your microbiome, which in turn will help your skin. So my second tip is liver health. So most people that come to me have tried the conventional route before they tried a natural route. Your liver probably needs a little bit of help, so it just takes the strain off of the skin then having to excrete those toxins. A few tips would be to increase your cruciferous vegetable intake, because that's great for liver detoxification. So you want, basically, leafy greens are great. You want kale, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower is great as well. Garlic and onions really good as well, so try and include some of those in every day. You also want to increase your protein intake, because again, protein's really good for liver detox. So be mindful, look at high protein sources and include them in your everyday meals. And my third tip with liver health is to strip it back. So think about it, if your liver is detoxing the environment and what's coming in, strip it back. So strip back your skincare, look at the ingredients, strip back the cleaning products in your house, make sure they're really natural. I mean, even with the food, go for whole foods. Don't go for processed foods, packaged foods that are quite high in chemical load, because again, your liver has to work through that and detoxify it. So my third tip, which is really important for me in my journey, was looking at your skincare. and really looking at stripping it back. You want really natural products. You want nourishing products. You want to look at gels. Foams can be drying, so just look at gel-based formulas, especially when it comes to cleansers. You want a really good skin barrier moisturiser, so really look for a good one. Again, it really depends on you and your type of acne. Ones with ceramides are pretty good because they mimic the fats in our skin, so have a look at something like that and give that a go and give your skin that break. Those are my tips to get you started on your journey. If you've tried a few of these and you're finding that your skin's just still in a bad place and you need a little bit of help, then please reach out and we can just have a chat. My Instagram handle is Steph J Nutrition, and I'm going to be posting more content on here. So if you like this, or you got something from this, or you want to learn a few skin health tips, then please do subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching.